What's up, peeps? Welcome back to Rebranding Safety. If you're new here, Rebranding Safety is changing the perception of health and safety, and we do that right here on the YouTube channel. We do that on the podcast as well. This video is a pod clip from a podcast. You can get the podcast on pretty much any platform. Just search Rebranding Safety. And Rebranding Safety is sponsored by Paradigm Human Performance HSE subscription service, the perfect solution for those of you in small, medium-sized enterprise that feel like you're just spinning loads of plates all the time. Without further ado, let's get into today's pod clip.
The conversation is moving towards one of building safety.
Okay.
So you might lose the building potentially from the cladding, but you've got an amazing alarm system. You've got multiple routes for escape. You're all fit and healthy. Internal compartmentation's good, etc., versus you've got cladding issues, but actually, or even bigger issue is wholesale sort of compartmentation failure within the building. Smoke log staircases and all sorts of stuff, which a lot of people don't know they've got yet, because the intrusive survey work is being done in the external wall, but not in the internal makeup of the building. So we always say to people, unless you've got that thorough understanding of the external wall and you've got a type 4 FRA or investigative work to actually show that the compartmentation is going to work, you need both sides of the equation. So the fire safety bill that's going through at the moment, which will amend the fire safety order or revise the fire safety order, is actually saying that the fire risk assessment needs to include the external wall. So that change is coming, and that, as we understand it, is 1.7 million buildings will require an assessment of their external wall. Now, the question I haven't had an answer to yet is, at the point where the fire engineering community or the fire risk assessment community understood that in Grenfell the external wall was a major part of the failure of the building, without changing the fire safety order, how were fire risk assessments conducted beyond that point suitable and sufficient if they didn't include even a nod to the external wall?
Exactly. It's a foreseeable risk, therefore it...
Now, so you've actually got fire associations recommending to members to specifically exclude the external wall from their fire risk assessments. Well, how is that, as a responsible person, how is that suitable and sufficient? I can understand from a practitioner's perspective how you could turn around and say, well, I'll do this, but I'll exclude that. Still don't know whether that fits with competence, but certainly from a responsible person's perspective, how can I turn around and say that I've got a suitable and sufficient fire risk assessment for the building if I've completely ignored a potential huge accelerant as a part of that building makeup, just because we've always done it the other way? Doesn't make it, and I don't think that's been tested yet as to what suitable and sufficient means in that context.